Hi guys, we're back to share with you the long slog we call day two. We knew from the moment we got our itinerary that day two was going to be a killer, and it was.
Well, it's the morning of day two. Every part of my body is sore, especially my calves and my hips. And I have a sunburn on the back of my neck that is killing me. Today we have a big day ahead of us, huge down, about 3,000 feet of climb. That's going to be killer. Hope these kids can make it. But what I'm most scared about is we have a river crossing and the bridge is out. And I think that there's only a rounded log that everyone's going to have to walk across balancing with nothing to hold on to and their packs. So I'm pretty nervous about that one, but see how it goes. It's going to be a killer day.
We've been hiking for not quite an hour and a half. We've covered a little over 2.5 miles, and we have just been pounding down a mountainside, dropped about 1,500 feet, and we're about to do a big gnarly river crossing that's going to scare Mom to death.
All right, so I want to talk about why I was concerned about the river crossing, because everyone thought that I was a little bit maybe overreacting to it. I wasn't, because when we got to the ranger station and we were getting our itinerary, one of the rangers was telling us that the bridge was out and that we might have to crawl across the log, with our 7-year-old. But she said, oh, don't worry, it wasn't that bad for me. But then again, I've been slacklining lately, as though that was going to make me feel better about getting my children across the river, because it wasn't a problem for her because she'd been slacklining. Whatever.
I'm pretty excited. I'm kind of scared to see how big the log is. Like if it's as big as that tree, I'll be good. But if it's as big as that tree, then I'll be kind of scared. So,
I'm fine with it if the tree's big enough.
And if we don't die.
Just wanted to give you a little glimpse of what we're going to be climbing this afternoon. So it might not look very big to you, but it looks pretty huge to me. It's even beyond that, we have to go up about, from down here, it's about 3,000 foot climb over the next 3 miles. Butt kicker. First bridge crossing. This doesn't seem so bad. It's not scary. It's flat. It's got a handrail. So maybe I was all worried for nothing. Yay! I wasn't scared for nothing. Here goes Matt. Across the crossing. We've got a round log over the raging White River. Oh, Kai's following right after him. Okay, what's up? Almost all the way across. Oh, he did it. Okay, this is not an awesome mom moment right now. I feel sick in my stomach. Luckily, all the gymnastics training is paying off, the balance beam stuff. Okay, she's fine. There we go. Okay, little feet are stumbling. Okay, we're almost there. My hand is trembling. All right, we made it. My turn. The White River. What you can see is glacier water, so it has a lot of the silt from the glacier still in it, so it looks just like kind of chalky, and eventually that all settles out and it's clear and nice, but it's white and gray up here, and it's pretty rough water. There's a lot of debris and pretty treacherous if you fall in, so wish me luck.
That's scary.
So we made it across the river, and we made it through a bit more of this rocky area that was the big dry part of the riverbed. And as soon as we regained the trail went and we were going up. And it wasn't a gradual transition, it was just up from the river all the way up to Windy Gap, which we'll talk more about this journey. But it quickly became apparent that we were going to be in for a long, long afternoon, and that we were going to need to take a lot of breaks. So we decided on a strategy of taking a break every half mile. The kids were counting the steps to a half mile every time.
What have we been doing for the last few minutes?
Crying.
Crying. Now, what else have we been doing besides crying?
Hiking.
You've been climbing up a huge mountain. Is it easy?
No.
Is it hard? Does it just keep going up and up? It's going up and up. Yeah, there's where we came from. And it just goes up. I would like to point out that the elevation gain that we did that day was equivalent to climbing to the tip, not just the top, to the tip of the Empire State Building twice with a pack on your back. So that's what we did that day, and that's why we were tired.
And with a 7-year-old.
And with a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old and an 11-year-old asking if we were there yet the entire time. So just imagine that. We've come a long way. We still have got to get up past that by the end of the day. But it's a beautiful cliff, beautiful wildflowers, pink wildflowers all over the side of it. Butterflies, and we're getting there.
Finally, after climbing up for an hour and a half, 2 hours, we made it to James Lake. This was supposed to be a little more than halfway from the river to the campsite we were staying at, according to the map. And it was also our lunch spot. So we were really excited to make it to lunch. We found a nice little log by the side of the lake, and we broke out some food.
And there were tons of huckleberries everywhere. The bushes were just dripping with these huckleberries. It was amazing. So that was a nice extra little treat. And then we decided to go swimming, and Matt stripped down to his skivvies, and
that was Heather's favorite treat.
Yeah, and then started going out and decided to take a shortcut, but ended up getting stuck in mud with every single step that he took, and mud like clear up to mid-thigh, all the way out there, which was hilarious to watch. And then I decided just to take my chances by just running as fast as I could along the mud to try and not sink in, and that ended up being the better route.
It's amazing! The fish are jumping! There's little brown.
It's also freezing.
We had a good time in the lake. It was totally deserted. I absolutely would have skinnied it if it wouldn't have scarred my daughters for life. So
Should have just done it.
my daughters are intact. My wife is disappointed. And
Next time.
we still had a good time.
So we're about to go around the ridge, but from here you can kind of see where we started this morning, or kind of last night and this morning. Dropped down from that far green ridge down to the lake and back up. So this cliff here is the one I filmed earlier this morning, so we're kind of back behind it right now, about to go around the edge and about another 1.75 to our campsite. Long day. What we didn't know at the time was that the maps and the signs were wrong.
It's true. We kept thinking we were about there to this pass we were going over Windy Gap, but it was farther away than we thought, and farther away than the map had indicated. So we really had about another 2.25, maybe 2.5 miles to go to get to camp. It just seemed like we should have been there, and we just kept not arriving.
It makes me tired just thinking about it.
Yeah. Luckily, there was a fun surprise right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bear. He's kind of walking up those rocks. You can kind of see the little shadow of him moving.
we were hiking through some of the most gorgeous scenery that we had ever seen in our lives. It was breathtakingly beautiful, but we couldn't even enjoy it because we were so tired. We were so physically spent. So that just even being there just kind of made us mad. At least it made me mad.
I kind of enjoyed it a little bit. I remember we were up, and I'd never been in this part of the park before, but I remember identifying some hanging valleys, and I didn't know what those were until we went to Glacier National Park earlier this summer, and it's this glacial geological formation. Look it up on Wikipedia. I'm sure there's a good entry, but it's this beautiful, beautiful feature on the train, and I recognized some of it at the area we were in.
So he was enjoying himself. I was just mad because I wanted to be at camp and I wasn't at camp, and so it's like every flower just offended me. Hi. It's the end of day 2. And I'm kind of in a super grumpy mood right now. My body is thrashed. My feet hurt, my knees hurt, everything hurts. And yes, it felt like gorgeous scenery, blah, blah, blah. I just want to make it to camp and go to bed, and I can't listen to another, how much farther is it? I'm tired, because it just kills me. It just wears me down. And I think that when I get home, instead of a We Do Hard Things group, I might start like the Let's Eat Chocolate and Watch The Bachelorette group, because it's been a day. Do you hear that? It's a wild turkey. It makes a really weird noise. Maybe it'll do it again. I saw one once after hearing that noise. They're pretty cool looking. Like all brown and kind of colorful. I could get it and eat it. Sounds a lot better than Mountain House.
Finally, we arrived in camp much later than we expected to. We didn't have a ton of daylight left, so we quickly got the tent set up, got dinner made. I went and pumped about 300 gallons of water, which that was the best tasting water, I think, on the trip, was out of that little stream. But we got everything pulled together and in order pretty quickly. We recommend the Mountain House fajita mix when combined with the other stuff we had, the tortillas and the avocado and the cheese.
Definitely the avocado.
Yeah, it was delicious.
There's Matt making dinner. What are we having tonight, Matt?
Kids are having noodles and chicken. The adults are having the Mountain House chicken fajita filling. It's our first time trying it. We also brought along some cheddar cheese and an avocado to go with it. We're pretty excited. And some, obviously, maybe not obviously, but also some tortillas.